Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR 25 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day today. We kick off the all-new chase format from Darlington's Southern 500 weekend. That's right, the chase is officially here. Playoffs are no more. We already knew that coming into the season, and now it's officially time to kick it off. And looking at the chase grid, William Byron, your regular season champion, enters with a 25-point advantage over Christopher Bell as he sits at 2,100 points over Bell's 2,075. And then you go down an additional 10 points to third place of Kyle Larson, and then throughout the rest of the 16 drivers, it goes down in 5-point increments. We find ourselves kind of smack dab in the middle of the chase grid at 2,040 points. So we start the chase 60 points out, and Carson Hocevar all the way at the bottom of the grid starts 100 points below William Byron. Of course, Hocevar made it into the chase on a three-way tiebreaker in the Daytona regular season finale, and he had to go all the way to, of course, third place finishes to determine who would get in on the tiebreaker, which went to Hocevar over Chastain or Ryan Preece. And now here he is looking to fight for a NASCAR Cup Series championship. And you see the top of the leaderboard, Denny Hamlin? Well, we had some big news regarding Denny Hamlin this weekend. It is official. Hamlin, after going winless all season, after a heartbreaking loss in the championship for last season in 2025, just like real life in the game as well, Denny Hamlin comes out this weekend and says, I'm ready to call it a career. I am going to be retiring at the end of this 2026 season. Originally, he was expected to go to the end of 2027, but he says that he just is ready to move on, and he is going to hang up the helmet at the conclusion of this 2026 season. So now the question is, can Denny Hamlin win? Can he go out on top? Who will replace him in that 11 car? It is expected an announcement on that will come within the next couple of races, so we'll wait on some news on that as we come through to qualify. A little bit rough here in P20, which was, well, 20 positions better than where I was in practice now. But Kyle Larson tops the board in quali over William Byron. Hamlin, in what we now know will be his final Southern 500, will start in fourth place there, as you see a smack dab in the middle of the grid, just like where we start the chase. Hocevar 24th, Zilish in 23rd, as well as Suarez 30th. Chad Fincham all the way at the bottom of the grid now, as we're going to fast forward to Sunday evening, ready to go racing here now. The sun's starting to set, and we've got the Boost Energy colors on the car here this weekend and ready to attack this Darlington racetrack, a track that I am quite a big fan of. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this race, and I think we got way more potential in this car than where we qualified in the 20th position. So let's fire these engines and get ready to go racing here from Darlington Southern 500. Now starting behind the number 2 Discount Tire Ford Mustang of Austin Cindric. The green flag is out and the chase is underway. It's been, 15, 16 years since we've had this format. And now we are back. Actually, no, it's not been that long. It's been about 13 years. So over a decade nonetheless. But we return to the chase format, and it is going to be awesome from these next 10 races. Whoever has the most points of the chase drivers at the end of Phoenix will be your 2026 NASCAR Cup Series champion, and we start 60 points below, but I have high hopes that we can still claw our way forward, and that's going to start with a good run. And when you start 60 points below, I mean, you can maybe afford one bad race, but that's it. You got to be on it for the other 9 chase races. So, if we finish outside of the top 10 here tonight, we're going to have to make sure we're finishing top 10 in the next 9 straight races, which is something we haven't done yet this season. Around goes the chase driver. Joey Logano's around in the middle of 3 and 4. Caution already on the second lap of this race. And everybody's going to stay on the racetrack. I mean, the field comes to a literal stop right there. But we'll immediately get ready to go back racing here. A bit of chaos right off the bat now, as here we go once again back underway now. Also important to note, we're going to do one race for the this episode, and then we're going to do 2 races for the rest of the chase races, which will take us through race 2 and 3. Then we'll have 4 and 5, then we'll have 6 and 7, and then we'll have 8 and 9, and then we'll have one race episode for the finale at Phoenix to determine a champion. And now, I mean, we're in a format where a champion can be decided early in the season, but we as well, you know, have started using brand new AI settings since Indianapolis, and it really is kind of shuffling things up. So I really do think that because of this kind of AI shuffle that we have, we might very well have a championship battle go right down to the end of the season instead of seeing a bit of a runaway. The story of the season has been the big 3, of course. William Byron, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson. Those have been the 3 guys winning all the races now. I mean, Bell has 7 wins, Larson has 5, Byron has 5. That is 17 wins over the course of 26 races between those 3 drivers. Absolutely insane. But with this latest shuffle that we've got, I really think it is, you know, with these AI settings, it's going to be an opportunity for things to happen. But we had kind of got stuck right here in about 22nd. I couldn't pass because everyone's so clumped together. So I have decided, well, we're in our field window, so let's pit a little bit early. So we're going to come in at the conclusion of this 14th lap, make a bit of an aggressive call. Of course, could be a bit risky if a caution comes out, but we're going to come in and just basically try to leapfrog these guys. We got 7 laps of fuel left, so the AI, I would expect them to pit probably in the next 2 to 3 laps anyways. So we're not pitting like super early, but I mean, with 4X wear, you know, 1 lap makes a big difference on tires. 2 laps, 3 laps makes a huge difference on tires. So I am expecting us to have quite an advantage here as we return to the racetrack. And overall, solid pit stop as well, as we've gotten to the midway point, past the midway point now of stage 1. Another car is into the pits. That was actually the 54 of Ty Gibbs. Chase Briscoe to the lead here as well in Darlington, and as these laps go on, we're going to start to unlap ourselves. Look who we're passing: Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney. These were guys in the top 10. We weren't even in the top 20 when we pitted, and because we come in just 2 laps earlier than those guys, we're making huge gains, now passing the 17 of Busher, who won this race last season, the 24 of Byron. Briscoe's out in front of me. He's actually he's long out in front of me, but I think we're going to be P2. We will be, because as we come through to the 20th lap, everyone's now completed their pit stops, and we have gone from 22nd. We have gained 20 positions by pitting 3 to 4 laps earlier, and now we're P2. But obviously, the other side of the equation there is the fact that we're going to be slower than pretty well everyone behind us who has fresh tires. So now Ryan Blaney up my inside here. He's going to be looking for P2, and it's just about trying to hang on at this point for stage points. Now that's really the goal here. Go from 22nd, take a gamble, try to get stage points out of it. Not going to fight the 12, not really going to fight many guys here as we head down into turn 1. Blaney's around in front of us. We're going to get a piece of it now. A bit of damage on the right front. Caution is out, and another Chase driver goes for a spin, and it's a second Penske car, and we get included. And now we have a decision to make. We've got slight damage, but we're going to stay out. And the reason for that is because even though we're bleeding lap time, we have really worn tires, we're only going to have a couple of laps to go, and we should be able to hang on for stage points. So as we return to the green flag, Briscoe and myself lead the field green. It's 2 to go. That works out pretty well. So we just need to survive for 2 laps. As long as we score stage points, I don't care if it's 1 point, I don't care how many points it is. As long as we just hang on to a top 10 here, I'll be pretty happy with the result. Now as William Byron is going to put some pressure on that 19 of Chase Briscoe as we head down into turn 3. Byron has fresher tires than the 19 of Briscoe. As we roll the top through 3 and 4, here comes William Byron to the inside of that 19 down the front straightaway. 1 lap to go here in stage number 1 as we'll follow these 2 into the corner now, and Byron's got the advantage. William Byron to the lead. Your Chase Championship leader already now takes over, and I'm going to hit the wall on the exit of turn 2, just pushing a little bit too hard on worn tires, and we're going to lose several spots from that. Through goes Blaney, Elliott, Allmendinger, Hamlin as well as we roll through 3 on the top lane. Bubba Wallace to my inside as we exit turn 4. Byron will win stage 1 into the line. Wallace gets us right at the last second, and we end up in 8th. threw away, I mean, at least 3 spots right there and 3 points as well, which could be crucial at the end of the season. So not ideal. We'll come in, we'll pit for 4 tires and feel no adjustments. I was happy with how the car was. I just noticed, by the way, my camera was blocking the leaderboard still, so I went in and I fixed it right now. So now you see my camera a bit lower as we get ready to go green for now. Stage 2, the sun has set, the night sky covers the track, and we are back underway. The second stage now, 28 laps of racing again from now P9 as we head down into turn number 1. Ty Gibbs has stayed out because Ty Gibbs was a driver that pitted in the same vicinity as I did, and when we got that caution for Ryan Blaney spinning, Ty Gibbs actually pitted, so he's on somewhat fresh tires, but still worn out tires, so he's going to pay the price here, and he's going to be dropping like a rock. But Ty Gibbs was not able to score stage points, and now that 54 team is trying to do something different again to start stage 2, as we've had a bit of a rough opening lap here, falling back behind the 5, and Kyle Busch rolling around my outside. Of course, we still do not know where Kyle Busch is going to be next season. Very, very interesting to see what happens there, but nonetheless, we stay clear of Buescher. Now here comes Christopher Bell to my inside, but once I roll the top, look at the momentum, and we would be able to stay in front of Christopher Bell as Joey Logano now is coming up behind me as Byron had once again gotten away with the lead of this race as Ty Gibbs is continuing to kind of back up. He's not falling as fast as I thought he would, but he is still, regardless, backing up, and he actually just caught the wall there, and basically whoever's behind him also is going backwards, so everyone's just trying to get around him right now, and hopefully we can get up to this 54 and pass him here within the next lap or 2. And now as well, to the inside again of this 8 of Kyle Busch. You can see the speed in this number 15 Boost Energy machine. It's just, you know, it seems like we kind of just got to hang on for the first, you know, 5 to 10 laps, and then things start to kind of kick in. But I send it into turn 3 to clear the 8 of Kyle Busch, and we get ourselves at least back into the top 10, and that's now going to allow us hopefully here to run down the 54. Someone's got an issue. I saw a smoke, and a caution's out. No one was crashing. I never saw anybody crash, but the yellow is out. I don't even know who the caution is for. We're just going to call that a phantom caution, honestly, and everyone's going to stay on. We'll get ready to go back racing, and I was just confused about that one. So we'll be P10, and unfortunately, we're going to line up directly behind the guy on older tires, Ty Gibbs, number 54. So going to have our work cut out for us as we return to the green flag once again now. And how many laps are we going to have? Still 20 laps to go. So if we did pit, we still would be short on fuel. So yeah, we're still going to have to make another pit stop, obviously, here. As Chase Briscoe and William Byron, of course, kind of been 2 guys that have been leading this race right now. It's the 24. Hamlin's up there as well. I think Bubba Wallace just caught the outside wall, it looked like, as well, as we head down into turn number 3 now, and we're just going to continue to rip this second lane right against the outside wall, pulling up right to the back of the 54 of Ty Gibbs. Briscoe up front, I can see, is now to the inside of the Exalta 24 Chevrolet of William Byron, looking to retake the lead of this race as we head down into turn 1, right against the outside wall just about now. Nowhere to really go when you're stuck on this outside behind a guy on old tires. You're at the mercy of everybody on the inside, and unfortunately for me, no one on the inside there's no gap, and unfortunately, starting lap 11, I make a big mistake there and clip the outside wall on the entrance to turn 1, and we bleed time. We lose the spot to Priest. Bowman, here comes the last driver in the chase, Carson Hocevar as well, as now Gibbs actually has dropped down to the inside, so we're just going to rip the top now as we roll through 3 and off turn 4. Look at the ground we gained. We're going to give Allmendinger a big shove, but into turn 1 again, I make the same mistake into the outside wall for a second time, and that's going to kill our time as we roll through out of turn 2, and another mistake right there. Big slide. We save it, but we would eventually get down to the inside and start to make some time here and passing Priest and finally getting alongside Ty Gibbs, and this time I'm not going to hit the wall, and we're going to clear him instead. And now we can focus in on marching our way forward, but our tire warning light has already come on, so we're going to be pitting here momentarily now as Briscoe's under fire from 2 Hendrick cars. Byron and now Kyle Larson to the inside of that 19. Briscoe still looking for his first win on the season, but Larson takes the lead. No, he doesn't. Larson wrecks. Larson crashes, going for the lead in turn 1. Caution out again, and this is going to bring everybody into the pits for tires and fuel, and this will guarantee us all going to the end of this race. You notice on the leaderboard, by the way, like Alex Bowman does not have the chase colors because the game, of course, uses the playoff format, which also has win and you're in, meaning McDowell and Ty Dillon being drivers that had won their way into the playoffs, and the game would knock a guy like Alex Bowman out of the playoffs, if you were wondering about that. Nonetheless, let's go back racing here. We are back underway here from Darlington. Now as a green flag waves one more time. And it's going to be still over 10 laps to go here in stage 2. It's been a bit of chaos in the second stage, and unfortunately things just haven't quite worked out the way we would have hoped here so far. Now as Noah Gregson's leading this race, oh my goodness, Noah Gregson, for whatever reason, decided he was not going to pit, and he is on super old tires, and Joey Logano is going to go to the lead of this race here, and he would continue to drive away, and I would just stay on the inside, and this was perfect because Gregson right now is planted on the outside, and he's backing up the 9, he's backing up the 24, the 20, the 23, all chase drivers, and we'll send it into turn 3 and 4, and we'll clear the 4 and move up into P7, and this is just kind of giving us a bit of a new kind of, you know, beam of hope here, you could call it now, because with 9 laps to go, we have finally settled into about 7th place, and we can maybe start to show the speed that we have in this number 15. And we're going to start by bringing the battle here to the 19 of Chase Briscoe on lap 22, down into turn 3, looking up the inside, washing up the racetrack right there now as Ryan Blaney runs at P2 over Hamlin, Larson, Bowman, the rest of your top 5, as we've got just 6 laps to go, now to 5 laps to go. Lap 24, looking in my mirror, you can see drivers closing in on us. Tyler Reddick, William Byron as well, and I'm trying to make quick work on this 19 of Chase Briscoe, but it's just not quite working yet. But hold on, through 3 off turn 4, we'll clear them. There we go, into P6 now, and very, very quickly we would run down the next batch of cars here. Logano still leads over Hamlin, but Hamlin's right there on the back of the 22, and we are right here to the right rear of the number 12 of Ryan Blaney. This should be an easy pass around the outside here into turn 3 and 4. Noah Gregson has now come into the pits as Denny Hamlin, fresh off the announcement of retirement at the conclusion of the season, to the lead here with 2 laps to go in stage 2 at a track he has had so much success at throughout his NASCAR career. As now we are going to continue to try and follow now Kyle Larson past his Hendrick Motorsports teammate of Alex Bowman. Now, of course, next season we know Corey Day will be behind the wheel of that number 48 car now as we head down into turn 1. Final lap of stage 2. Had to give way to the 48 right there, but we'll battle back on the exit of turn 2 down this back straightaway, and it's going to be close quarters, but if we can just hook up this bottom, we should be able to get P4 here in stage 2. Now is Hamlin in control over Logano, Larson third, and we will in fact clear that 48. We're going to bring it home for P4 here in stage 2. A very, very solid effort, and most importantly, we gain more points right there than the 24 of William Byron, who leads the championship. Unfortunately, though, of course, we do know Byron won that first stage and still scores 4 points here in stage 2. So he still has more points on the night than we do so far. So a pit stop, 4 tires and fuel, no adjustments again. I'm very happy with how the car's driving, and we just proved right there, if we can get the track position, we've got hope. Joey Logano, bad pit stop, not even in the top 9, so we are promoted to P3 behind the number 11 Sports Clips Toyota Camry for Joe Gibbs Racing of Denny Hamlin. Stage 3 underway, and it's a lengthy one. This is a 2 pit stop stage, and we don't get that very often. This is actually, I think, the only racetrack we will see that. We will have to pick 2 separate times here, depending on, of course, if we get some cautions. If we get 2 cautions, probably, then that'll probably eliminate a pit stop, and it'll just be a 1-stop race. But if it goes green, we have enough time where 2 pit stops will decide the outcome of this race. As Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson side by side, Blaney clear of myself, and again we seem to kind of struggle on the shorter run of this race, and through goes Reddick, now through goes Briscoe, and we just continue to kind of settle in. Now the positive is we've got track position this time. It's not like we're running 10th to 15th. No, we got the track position that we need, so we should be able to at least maintain a top 10 running spot now. But here comes William Byron in the Exalta 24 to my inside. But you can see even against William Byron, we can really roll that outside line. But unfortunately for me, he is still going to be to my inside as we head down into turn 1. So I know right here I'm going to be in trouble, and that 24 is going to get past us. So we drop down to P7 as Hamlin continues to lead, but then Tyler Reddick would take over the lead, and then Kyle Larson to follow as we're now bringing the fight to that 12 of Ryan Blaney here. Still over 30 laps to go, coming to 31 to go, and into turn 3 now, trying to just hook up this inside, but still a little bit too early in the run where I just don't seem to have that advantage right now. And when you can't clear that 12, you're under attack from the car behind you. Unfortunately, I was able to keep Bowman behind, and he would actually drop a couple spots over the next few laps to Logano and Bell, and Joey Logano has been strong all night long. Don't count out that 22 team as we head down into turn 3 again and try to complete the pass on the Penske number 12. Good run, not going to be enough though. Out of turn 4, Blaney still in my right rear, and he'll head down this front straightaway and re-clear us before we even get to turn number 1 with that momentum as Kyle Larson now in control over Reddick. Byron up there fighting with Denny Hamlin for third is once again lap 64, trying to complete the pass on the 12, couldn't quite do it right there, and this time we might be under fire from Joey Logano on the exit of turn 4. Sure enough, here comes that 22. Joey Logano is going to be alongside into turn number 1. He'll clear us into the corner, so that's the danger. If you can't complete a pass on the bottom, you're under attack from the next guy as we continue to fight though, and they're fighting for the lead. We're fighting for 7th. Reddick back to the lead, and I still can't quite complete this pass on the 12. I'm not just going to run him over, and obviously we know we got a pit stop coming that's going to benefit us as well, as we could maybe pit on the early side of that stop now as we again to the inside. Can we complete it right here? I think we can do it on lap 67. Just hook up this inside line just like that, and finally through 3 off turn 4. We're going to get a little bit close, but I'm going to kind of squeeze up in front of them. We clear the 12, and immediately we go on attack mode, because now to the outside, the Bass Pro number 19 of Briscoe. Crew chief calls us into the pits. Well, I can't really pit from here, so we're going to have to keep going now. And as we roll through 3 and off turn 4 now, can't clear the 19 because Joey Logano's in front of us. So I'll just simply push the 22, and we're going to pit this lap right here at the end of lap 69. We clear the 19 into turn 1 and move into P6, and now we'll get ready for a pit stop out of turn 2. Big run as well on Logano. The pace is really shifting in our favor in these closing laps of this race, and now we'll get down to the apron, and pit will be the first one of the front runners to come into the pits, which means we're going to have one heck of an advantage here. So as we return to the track, 16-second pit stop, and now it's about to be game on. Here comes the leaders. Larson's coming in, Reddick's coming in, so 1 lap difference is what it's going to be, which is going to be enough time to make up a good margin on them. And sure enough, as we roll through 1 and 2, passing the likes of the 20, the 19 as well. There's Reddick and Larson right up there. Larson's going to be your net leader. Reddick will be P2. We carry the momentum down the straightaway to get us as close as we can, and then lap 72 through turn 2 will clear the Exalta Chevrolet of William Byron as well. He pitted 2 laps later, so he's got a little bit fresher tires, but we would keep him at bay. Now settling into third once all was said and done, and all of a sudden we are in the conversation to win a Southern 500 with Tyler Reddick leading, Kyle Larson second, and already at 10 laps of fuel in this Boost Energy number 15, and it's going to come down to this right here. You're going to have to rip the wall, and you're going to have to be very smooth about it. We cannot afford any mistakes for the rest of this race now, and you can see me just ripping up to the top here through 3 and 4, doing exactly what Reddick's doing. Larson's running about half a car width lower, being a little bit on the cautious side, but we are making major time on both drivers, closing in right to the back of the HendrickCars.com number 5 of Kyle Larson. Reddick leads, but he is also losing time to myself now as we're right up to the back of the 5 of Larson. But my problem now would become I would get stuck behind the 5 of Kyle Larson, and that's allowing the 45 to now put a bit of a gap on both of us, actually, not just me. but that 5 as well. Larson doesn't quite have the speed right now, so here I am through 3 and off turn 4 looking for a move to the inside. Can't quite complete the pass, and I know if we are going to win this race, we got to pass this 5, and we're running out of time now as we're coming up on 11 laps to go, and Larson is not making this easy, and that's allowing Reddick to drive away. Larson going to get down in front of me into turn 3. I think Larson's pitting. Yes, he is. Larson's coming in for a second, and now final stop of this race, and now my crew chief makes a call to pit. So Larson's going to have the upper hand this time, and we're going to come in at the conclusion of this next lap here on lap 82. So we'll pit on lap 82. We'll come in. It's still going to be 4 tires as we head down into turn 3. Here comes Tyler Reddick as well coming into the pits, and we are going to gain some very serious time on pit entrance. Byron Briscoe stay out on the racetrack as well as we get 4 tires one more time. Where's that 45? Here he comes. Reddick's going to be exiting. We're going to be just behind that Jordan-branded 45. Where's the 5 of Kyle Larson? Is Kyle Larson going to take the net lead of this race? I see him in my mirror. Here he comes. I don't know. I think Reddick's still going to be leading as we head down the back straightaway. And all of us right now, of course, are scored a lap down as Denny Hamlin still headed around the racetrack now, trying to stretch this out a little bit further now as we head down into turn 3. Reddick's around. Are you kidding me? Cautions out, and that just ruined our race. Kyle Larson's race, Tyler Reddick's race, Bell, Blaney, Gibbs, several Chase drivers just got screwed. The one only bit of good news is everybody a lap down was able to take the wave around because of everybody on the lead lap still had to pit. But that doesn't matter because now we're in the back with Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Bell, Reddick as well. I mean, it looked like Reddick was on his way to potentially win, and now we've got 5 laps to go in this race, and now it's Chris Buescher out in front with Denny Hamlin up there and Chase Elliott, though. Chase Elliott is up there in P3, and obviously I already know we're not going to be able to work our way forward because keep in mind, everybody just pitted. We're on older tires by not by much. I mean, by like, a corner, but they are still a little bit older. So I know at this point, our chances of going forward are pretty low, and I just hit the wall trying too hard right there, getting a bit annoyed. And yeah, our race is ruined, unfortunately, and this is, we talked about it, we can only afford one bad race, and if we get one bad result here in the chase, every other race, all 9 races, we're going to have to be top 10 at the bare minimum, and we are now already entering that conversation. And speaking of entering the conversation, we got a battle for the lead as Chase Elliott, coming to 3 to go, is going to take the lead here on the Southern 500. Now your defending champ trying to turn it up late in the season again as we come through turn 3, getting really aggressive now, coming to 2 to go, and we got another battle for the lead because it's Chase Elliott leading under pressure from Denny Hamlin. Hamlin would take the lead, and out of turn 4, coming to the final lap, I'm getting way too aggressive. I just put myself on the wall across the front nose of the 10 to Ty Dillon. Nobody's gone anywhere back here. Larson's still stuck. Bell, Briscoe, Reddick, we've all been stuck. Reddick's made the most progress of anybody. Blaney's stuck back here, but Denny Hamlin, oh my goodness, it's been a winless season. After a heartbreak of losing a title last season in the Final Four, he announced his retirement coming into Darlington, and in his final trip to the Southern 500 weekend, Denny Hamlin opens up the chase with a win in Darlington, and it's going to be P31 for us, and that is just frustration because we thought we were going to be fighting for the win, and it turns into not even a top 30. Buescher and Kozlowski in the top 5, Logano as well. Byron still manages 14th, and with good stage points, he's actually going to increase his point lead at the top of the championship. You see the rest of your finishing order. Let's take a look at the chase results, and William Byron at the top of the standings now, 32 points clear of Denny Hamlin, who makes gains, by the way. Denny Hamlin overall does make gains. Chase Elliott back in 3rd by 50 points, and Kyle Larson, Bell, Briscoe, Blaney, Buescher all really close, and we have a 3-way tie from 9th through 11th with myself, Reddick, and Logano. We're all 81 points back, so that shows you we went from 60 points back to 81. We gave up 21 points, and we're going to have to hope for a bad day for William Byron at some point. As well, Gibbs, only a 1-point day, ends up 116 points back after a horrible result. Hocevar as well, not really making any gains there. So We'll go into race 2 and 3 of the chase next episode. I believe it's Gateway and New Hampshire, so some tricky tracks that could bring some chaos and maybe bring us even closer into the mix. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.
I'm stuck in my head, need an exit.